What's up, podsters?
Oh,
Welcome
the late night show.
to the Quiet Storm. I'm your host, Dylan, and these are my brother slash co-host, Jeff. Drip Jeff in the building.
You know the vibes.
Albert, the original. And last but not least, the one, the only, Kyron.
Sir.
That's a dope shirt, by the way. I did not see that.
Appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank you.
I
Oh,
like that.
edition.
Yeah,
New edition.
that boy got all the merch. What's up, podsters? Welcome back to Pod Ties, episode 27.
Go.
Yes, sir. I am 1/4 of Pod Ties, Dylan, and these are my brothers slash co-hosts, Jeff. Drip Jeff in the building,
You know the vibes.
Albert, the original, and last but not least, the one, the only, Kyron.
Yes, sir. Got the merch on today too. boy.
Merch King.
Call me
Happy to
Drip.
be back.
My shirt got stuck on it.
It did.
What
Time to move it back down.
size is that? Kind of extra small?
Stop it.
What's the color again?
It's 14.
Charcoal gray.
Oh,
I think. Don't quote
You
me
know-
on it because I
you know what
don't
will go great with that shirt? A grill in your mouth.
Hey,
Oh.
BVS diamonds.
Before we move on to our first segment, our first topic, let's give a huge shout out to our posters who are returning. Thank you for supporting us and keeping the ties strong. And if this is your first time, we're going to show you some love as well. Thank you for joining the ties, and we hope that you enjoy this episode and you return for episode 28, 29, 30, etc. Infinite amount. If you haven't done this already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pod Ties. Smash the like button and hit that notification bell. Ding. Oh no, that's for the thumbs up. Never mind.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
Moving on, Jeff, you're starting us off with this segment. Music, new releases. We had some fire hit the street. What were they?
So we got two hot takes today. We have Kid Cudi making his return with Man on the Moon 3. Also, Jack Harlow making his debut album.
What's it called?
That's a good question. I forgot.
Is it like what's better than you or life's better? So what is it called? No, that's what they all say.
That's what they all
Yeah, that's
say.
what they all say. That's it. I literally was
swore-
just like
I
re-listening
swore
to
it
it.
was called Jack Harlow. Is
It's
it
called
not?
That's What They All Say.
Yeah.
I swear, I thought I saw
I
Jack Harlow.
wonder why you put and Jack Harlow.
Let me see this.
Maybe he is
Bro,
not.
I
bro,
am
when
tripping.
when he put that, I was questioning myself. I was like, "What's MOTM3?" I'm like,
Oh my god.
I'm thinking that's like a new
swear-
artist or something.
I swear he named it after himself. You know how sometimes debut albums, they name it after them?
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed or whatever. Self-titled.
Okay, so what is it called again? I gotta look at it. Because I swear
That's
I was
what
like,
they
man, you
all
hear that new
say.
Jack Harlow? Jack Harlow? That's what they all say. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we got Man on the Moon 3 versus Jack Harlow, and That's What They All Say. What do you guys think about it? I'm sure you guys heard it by now.
I was surprised when Kid Cudi announced his return. It's been a while since he dropped some new music. I was surprised, but I was kind of underwhelmed with Man on the Moon 3. I actually thought the Jack Harlow album was better for my ears.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
It was a great,
I agree. I'm with
great
you.
debut album for Jack Harlow.
What?
This is coming from the guy that's like part of the Cuddy fan base. You're part of the Hive. I would have never thought you would utter those words. I thought this whole time this weekend, I'm ready. I have my argument ready. We're going to debate, go back and forth. I'm going at your head, you're going at mine, because my argument is Jack Harlow's debut album, Jack Harlow is the best. Because when I was writing my notes, I thought the album was called Jack Harlow. But that's what they all say. I think that album is the best. So I was getting ready, but now I don't have to debate you. So who wants to smoke?
You got to debate Jeff because Jeff
Yep,
thinks it was
Jeff
fire.
on it.
Are you're a man on the moon?
You should have
Always
kept
man.
that album on the moon.
Well, I'm gonna humble you. I'll bring you back to earth because that album was trash.
Tell me how was that album trash?
Yeah, I
Bro,
don't know about trash now.
Yeah,
it was alright.
I was doing that just to get the audience hyped. It wasn't trash. It was actually a decent album. This episode, I think, will be a series of me apologizing for previous comments that I've made. And also, oh, yeah, by the way, just let me get this out the way. I apologize to you because you picked Sister Sister as Kobe Bryant's cameo in 96, and that was correct. So you should really be 5 out of 10. You still lost. But as a man, I want to, acknowledge that I was wrong.
But was he?
Also,
He was on Moesha in '96 too, right?
yeah. So they were both right.
Yeah.
So that should have been a point tally for him. Also, we were talking about females. I kept saying Callie Bronsman, and I know it's Callie Bronson. So I also got her name wrong, so I apologize for that. I want to get people's names right when I say it on the air. I think, Kyron, you kept looking at your notebook because you were like, I think I wrote Bronson. Or Brownson. I think it's Brownson. So, yeah. So I just wanted to get that out the way. I know, right? But anyway, Man on the Moon 3, the first half was actually really good. It was a vibe. Like, I liked it, but it just sounded too much like Astroworld. I thought that he tried to get too much into like the Travis Scott bag, which is fine, that works. Travis Scott is one of the biggest pop stars in the world.
Even though Kid Cudi started it though.
Yeah, I mean
exactly.
But
Travis Scott stole from him.
He didn't steal from
Man
him.
on the Moon and Man on the Moon 2 does not sound like Travis Scott. The second half of Man on the Moon 3 sounds like those previous two albums.
When Travis Scott took his flow and his sound and made it better.
He stole his flow?
No, not his flow, but his like the beats and
like the auto tune and the way he
the way Travis Scott structures his music is influenced by Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
So that's why
all wrote for Kanye West.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. Kid Cudi, he's the pioneer. He started it all. All right. So basically, he's been MIA for these past couple of years. He's not been relevant. He finally comes back, drops an album, and yes, it makes you think of Travis Scott for the simple fact that Travis Scott was influenced by Kid Cudi. But Kid Cudi is the original, so he is at a disadvantage there. But Kid Cudi basically took his own sound and basically modernized it, because obviously it's 2020. He can't come with the same stuff he came out in, 2007-ish or whenever he was relevant.
2005, I think.
Yeah, whenever he was relevant with Day and Night and all the other good stuff that he dropped.
Classic.
Exactly. So that's why, since Travis Scott is relevant, like you say, Dylan, relevancy bias, relevant bias, however you said it.
Recency bias.
There you go. Recency bias.
I was waiting for what you say.
That is why you think of Travis Scott.
Okay. Man on the Moon came out in 2009.
I'm going to keep it a bean. It was alright. I downloaded like 7 songs. That's it.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
You think so?
That's
Yeah.
like a majority of the album.
Yeah, his track listing was 18, so that's like 1/3. That's more
That's
than
pretty
1/3.
good. But
My
Jeff, this is
favorite.
where you're wrong. You said that he couldn't come back with 2009 flow. The Man on the Moon 2, whenever that came out, he couldn't come back with that because he needed to be more modern. But he did exactly that with the second half of the album. It sounded just like the previous albums, and I wanted to make sure that they did. So I went back and listened to them, and it's like the exact same songs, slow, dragged out, something that you can listen to on a long car ride at night. But when I'm in the house on the couch eating some potato chips, I don't want to listen to that.
No.
Yeah.
I just it lost me after a while. But I did like when I look at the track list, it sounded really great, like sonically.
hmm
To produce, just like the producing of it, like the production, not the producing, the production, the mixing, all that was great. And he never fails when it comes to that. He always delivers. I like Dive a lot. That was great. She Knows This. I think that's
Fire.
like one of the hits
Fire.
on the album. But Dive is probably one of my favorites. Sure Out was great, and I think like Skepta and Pop Smoke really made that song. Kid Cudi being in the like doing the background vocals when Pop Smoke was like singing the hook and stuff. I thought that was like perfect. The trio was great. That they executed that perfectly. But after that, like other than I think Rockstar Nights, the tail end of that song when Kid Cudi started flowing, I was like, okay, that's what I like. But yeah, it was a little underwhelming.
It was so
Jack
crazy.
Harlow.
Yeah, I clicked so fast on Man on the Moon 3. Well, I thought I clicked so fast on Man on the Moon 3. I was listening to it. I was like, man, this sounds just like his previous album. And it was his previous album because it had dropped.
This man.
Man on the Moon 3 was a vibe to me. I enjoyed the whole track list. Like, but that's the type of style that I like to listen to, so I may be a little bit biased, but it was all a vibe to me.
When you said that you listened to it twice, was it because after like track 9 you fell asleep and then you had it on like the replay, like the where it just keeps looping? That's what happened?
Nah.
There's no way you listened to that album twice
I'm telling you,
on a Saturday,
I
a
listened.
day, hours after it was released.
I did.
I listened to it
Fire!
twice, not consistently or consecutively. I didn't.
Fire.
Yeah, it's not going in the race for album of the year, but they Jack Harlow though.
Now let's go back. Let's backtrack a little bit. This acceptance, like where you guys just kind of shrugged after I said that Travis Scott and Kid Cudi wrote for Kanye West for a lot of his songs and his sound today.
I don't know
Why doesn't someone like Drake get that same thing where they make such a big deal about his ghostwriting? Why does Kanye West get a break but Drake doesn't?
Because Kanye is not Drake. Drake's the biggest star.
That makes
Kanye
no
is a-
sense. Of course,
no,
Kanye is not Drake.
Kanye is a great producer. Kanye is also written for other people too. It's not
And
like
Drake has too,
Drake.
for females
but-
and
Drake
males.
has.
but
Yeah.
Kanye is a different type. Like he can take most of his songs are what are they called, samples. And when you take those samples and make them great, like Through the Wire, Shaka Khan hates him because he remixed her song, but that song is amazing. Like imagine like all falls down, like Jesus Walks. Imagine if those samples weren't there. Like, come on now, it's Kanye.
All songs today are sampled from previous songs in previous decades. There's no song that has an original beat, original hook. It's always something that they're inspired by from a previous song. So that's not an excuse.
But that's true. But it's a difference from sampling a '70s artist that we don't know versus sampling somebody like Shaka Khan or like Michael Jackson. Like you have to deliver with those products. If you don't, then it's whack. Like I didn't know until recently when I was sent in the group chat that Good Life was a sample of Pretty Young Thing by Michael Jackson, and it's like that's crazy. It's like mind blowing.
I don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
You gotta. I'll send it to y'all later. It's like
That's one of those things like back in the day where you would listen to a song reverse, like on YouTube, is they're saying devil. Listen, devil, like that.
It's
Michael
like
Jackson.
closer to the end of PYT where he doesn't sing anymore. That's where the hook comes from, where the sample comes from. But I don't know. I don't know. I think
you're just a Drake hater.
Huh?
I think
you're just a Drake hater.
But Jeff, you are too, because you said Kanye is different from Drake because he's one of the biggest artists in the world. Like Drake isn't on that level.
You have it backwards, Dylan.
Oh, you said Drake is?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
What? I'm not understanding here.
Well, we kind of went off track a little bit because I had to go back to that. But let's go to Jack Harlow's album because we only talked about Man on the Moon. What are your thoughts on Jack's debut album?
It was better than Man on the Moon 3.
I didn't like it at first.
Did it grow on you?
It did. The second time I listened to it, like I don't know, like maybe it was just the mood I was in at that specific time that I listened to it. But I just like it had a couple cool songs, but I guess his flow, like I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But then when I actually like listened to what he was saying, I was like, oh yeah, I can rock with it. But it's not better than Man on the Moon 3.
You don't like lyrics?
Unpopular opinion. Jack Harlow's first album is better than.
Better than who? Watch yourself now.
Yeah. Don't say something that you're gonna regret.
Yes.
I already know what you mean.
Who?
50 Cent.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, no, I wasn't gonna say that.
Oh, Lil Baby, my turn.
Cent. He's gonna say 50 Cent.
Post
I'm
Malone.
not gonna say 50 Cent. Like the White Iverson one?
Well, yeah, his first album, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it's better than beer pongs and Bentleys, whatever it's
No, it's not better than that one.
It's not. It's not even.
No.
What was his first album?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
I was going to say, no.
It was Stoney. No, I don't know. Stoney is a banger.
You can't really compare the two though.
Stoney was a banger.
You can't compare the two.
I'm saucing.
Yeah, but it was, I think it was better. But I mean, obviously, congratulations and a couple songs on there were better. But
Bro, this dude had
it just dropped
bangers on top of bangers. Like about 70% of his album are bangers.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
This Jack Harlow album was right up there when it comes to percentage of bangers. It's about 70% itself.
Bro, we got Big Lie. We got Deja Vu with Justin Bieber.
Oh,
no
that's
option.
What?
We got White
I
Iverson.
get in my bag with that.
I Fall Apart.
Is it Deja Vu?
We got Patient. Go Flex. Too Young. Congratulations.
Congratulations was big. I hate it because they play it on the radio every day.
They got played
all
out.
day. Yeah.
Money Made Me Do It. And I think that's everything that went mainstream. So that's 10 songs.
We know Post Malone is the biggest hip
10
hop
songs out of 18
pop artist currently. So we don't even have to go down there. I don't know what Albert's talking about. That's shenanigans. That's blasphemous.
Exactly.
I don't know what you were drinking this past weekend, but you haven't recovered from it, saying that Jack Harlow is better than Post Malone. But I will say that Jack Harlow's album was better than Man on the Moon.
I said
I don't know what you're talking about either.
Better.
I'm on both of y'all's head. Jeff, you must not like lyrics. You must only like.
I like lyrics.
His first album, right? So he was.
That's all Kid Cudi does.
That man was harmonizing moments.
I like that stuff, man. I like the vibes. That album was a vibe. It was a vibe. That's what it was. I like the vibes.
Jack Harlow's
My gamer tag on PlayStation is vibes. I like.
And that's why you catch big L's.
It didn't flow together.
It did, man.
I think Kid Cudi was trying to do was kind of like what Drake does with Scorpion. He made it half
Oh, I
bars,
like the
straight
R&B
bars,
side.
half R&B. So his fan base is
I ain't like that
so
one.
wide. Yeah, it wasn't for everybody because he tried to make it for everybody, and you lose your audience when you try to make everyone happy. You're not gonna make everyone happy. So I think
It's
that's
not
what he
like
was
For
trying to
Your
do. Where
Eyes
like,
Only, which was a personal album.
what happened?
I said it's not like For Your Eyes Only. It was a personal album.
Yeah, that album is trash. By the way, that J Cole album. But back to Kid Cudi, I think he was trying to acquire new fans and keep his old fans happy. Trying to get Travis
That makes
Scott's
sense.
fans, people that like that type of music, and then also
Mhm.
make sure that okay, fans, I got y'all too. Like the people that been down since day one, I want to make sure I get y'all some new content as well. So I think that's what he was trying to do, and that's probably why we don't like it as much. Which I'm
Yeah,
still surprised that
yeah.
Albert doesn't like it because I thought he rocked with him, but obviously you're not. You're not really a fan. That's all
With
fake
who?
love.
Albert be switching sides.
Kid
With
Cudi.
who? I like Kid Cudi, but it didn't flow together. Like you can't go to from modernizing to back to your flow, like
Why
back to
not?
your same
Yeah, why not?
style at the, huh?
Why not?
Because if like, what are you introducing us to? Are you introducing us to your new style, or are you going back to what you already gave us before? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
How
It
does it
didn't
not make
flow
sense?
together.
What's
So
wrong
let me
with
get
that?
this right. Let me get this right. You want every song to sound the same. So basically, you wanted
No,
to be the baby. Oh, he
Oh,
wanted to be
No.
the
definitely
Cuddy.
not. It would have been
the
different.
Cuddy.
It would have been different if like the whole album like had some sort of pornography flowed
Whoa,
together.
whoa,
What?
What?
whoa,
What?
whoa.
Oh,
Pornography.
oh,
Whoa.
Said pro.
oh,
That boy want him to
oh,
release his album on Pornhub.
oh, oh, Albert, no.
He wanted it to be My Twisted Fantasy.
I said
Dark Fantasy, whatever.
chronography with the C and the H.
That's
Ooh.
not what we heard.
No.
It, if it flowed together, that would have been better. But like I don't like the A and B side albums when it's like that. Um, if you don't do an A and B side album, make sure it's bangers on both sides. Not half of the album is good, and the rest of the half of the album is like, I don't want to listen to that. Once it
I
gets
was
to that
definitely skipping. I was skip,
exactly.
skip,
Yep, I was too.
skip.
Y'all are crazy, man.
We keep
Now,
like not covering this album that was so fire. This Jack Harlow album. We keep going back to Kid Cudi. I think it's my
because the
fault.
album was
We
fire.
went to J. Cole. We went to everybody
Yeah,
else.
we went to everybody else. Post Malone.
Because his album is fire. And
No, it's not.
you guys are trying to degrade it and give Jack Harlow all of this props, which it was a good album, but it's not better than Man on the Moon 3.
Bro, you sleep, bro.
It is.
Jack Harlow, the
So
album, it sounded just like. Sorry, Kyra. I'm gonna go really quickly.
They
This
said.
this album actually sounded like a 2000s album, like before 2010. Like it was lyrical. He talked about like how he had to adjust to being famous and try not to make it so awkward around like people that he's grown up with. Like I thought it was just great. Like he actually talked about some real life stuff rather than I thought the
Yeah.
album was gonna be 18 songs of like what's popping.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm
it
glad
wasn't.
it wasn't that.
I
I'm
didn't
glad
think it
too.
was
Right,
gonna be
yeah.
like that. Yep.
If y'all thought that, then y'all don't really listen to Jack Harlow.
And I don't because I
I
remember
don't.
the bonus clip of after episode 10 when we had Xavier on there. I said like he's not that great of an artist because I'm sure all his songs sound the same. I think I said that. And I'm on my apology tour. I apologize, Jack Harlow, because you're a well-rounded artist. He
Yeah.
shocked me. Like this man had Chris Brown on there. The song sounded like the Already Best Friends. It sounded like one of those songs like that Chris Brown used to do when he would link up with Kid Ink. You remember those songs? Those songs
Fire.
were fire, and that's what it sounded like. The man had Big Sean, where Big Sean actually like sounded like an artist I
Yeah,
want to
he
listen to.
flowed.
Face of My
Exactly.
City, Lil Baby,
Yup.
fire.
Went crazy.
I like
Fire.
saying
know.
guy with Adam Levine.
And is that really Adam Levine from Maroon 5?
Yes.
There's
That's
no
me.
way.
It didn't sound. I don't
That did
know.
not sound like him.
It didn't.
Why?
I don't know. It just didn't.
It did not sound like him.
Look
Yeah,
up.
listen to that
Was
again.
he?
I don't
Was
think
Jack
that's him.
Harlow singing at the beginning? Was that Jack Harlow singing at the beginning?
I think
Was that
so.
song?
Yeah. Adam Levine is doing like background.
Hmm.
Yeah, but there
that's
were a
the
lot
same
of
one
people. Like
from
it sounded like somebody
Maroon 5.
it sounded like somebody that like I don't know. Yeah, I heard like a choir, and I heard like this one guy. He almost sounded like Nate Dogg rather than Adam Levine. And then
Yeah, I
my
can see
favorite song, anything that has Static Major featured on it is an automatic win. Just it should be Diamond. Love is Dro. Did y'all hear that one?
hmm
I don't remember it with Bryson Tiller.
And the streets need this. I repeat, the streets need this. A Jack Harlow and Bryson Tiller collab mixtape. Do it for Kentucky.
Hmm.
They need it because
Yeah,
their
it's actually
basketball
not
team
bad.
is sorry.
Bryson Tiller got to come out with something better than his last album to team up with Jack Harlow.
He did. He don't have to
No,
drop anything for the next 5 years after what he just
that
did on
song,
Love is Dro.
that song was good. It's only like 3 minutes long, so
You're a hater, Jeff.
I liked
Wow.
Cram, Route 66, and Tyler Hero as well. On top of all of them.
66.
How many songs you download off this project, Kyron?
Me, 7.
Oh, yeah.
So 7
Oh
and
no,
7.
it's 8 because that's that major song I got you.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
but
there's less songs on this
he only got
project.
15 on there. So,
Oh, Jeff, you've been
I definitely didn't
outnumbered.
skip. I definitely didn't skip as much as the other one.
Dang. Kyron, you're like the CM Punk of Pick Six.
Let's go.
I think he was champion for like 400 and something days. And that's about how long you've been number one in Pick Six. So that hasn't changed. Jeff,
This is facts.
you're actually inching closer to him. Kyron, don't get too comfortable in that spot.
Don't you get too comfortable.
you either.
Hey,
What you mean?
Albert gonna be in second place. I'm gonna be in first still.
Why is everyone praying on my downfall?
Because you gave up the first the spot in the first place, so you just bound to go down.
And he said he was gonna take it back, and he not.
Hey,
Facts.
don't you get too comfortable.
Albert's
games
right there
left.
too.
I've been sitting here for like 50 weeks. I'm coming.
Exactly.
Don't you get too comfortable.
I don't know what happened to me this
I'm
week.
Mr. Clutch.
That was bad, Dylan.
Yeah, it's bad.
The last week of the NFL. Are we going into playoffs?
Yeah, we are. I have something. I got something in the works though for episode 28. Be ready.
All right.
I'm not going to disclose it right now.
By the time the season ends,
You will
I'll
be
be there.
in third place.
I will be in first place.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Why
You're
you
saying
in
that
fourth?
I'll be in second? Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Kyrie. That's why.
No.
That's why we're boys. Always supporting me.
No. Welcome back. This is Pick Six from Week 12. We picked us three, Kyrie, Jeff, and myself. We picked Memphis to win, and they got the dub this week.
Sure.
Brady White with 22 of 35 for completions, 246 yards, and 2 touchdowns with 1 interception. The game was really close, obviously, if you look at the final score. It was a really good game. You see Houston's quarterback, Clayton Tune, with 30 for 49, 270 yards, and 3 total touchdowns. The quarterbacks played pretty even for the most part. So it really came down to the defense for Memphis and Houston. So Memphis got the dub this week. And like it says, Memphis was unbeaten at home for the 2nd consecutive season. That's crazy. But they also don't play in a tough division, a tough conference. So it's not like they're really playing anybody. It's like Ohio State,
number
but
2.
we'll get to that later.
We say Brady White became the school's all-time passing leader. Let's go.
Hey,
The boys won.
Next gen stats provided by the one, the
Dun,
only,
dun, dun.
Kyron.
we got a
Yes,
highlight
sir.
of the week for Tuesday or for Wednesday. The next game, North Carolina 15th ranked and the 18th ranked Miami Hurricanes. I obviously lost this game because I thought the Hurricanes was going to come out with the upset, but they upset me and the rest of the fans.
Yeah, me too.
This was a blowout, as you can see, 62 to 26. It was just ridiculous. I didn't get to catch this game live, but I did go back and see. And the stats tell you right there, Carter and Williams set the NCAA record for the most combined rushing yards by teammates, 544 yards. Come
That
on,
is
man.
insane. Where was
It's like
Miami's defense?
They got their
still,
cheeks obliterated.
I don't know where it was.
They probably thought this was gonna be an easy game.
For
Probably.
real, it was still with the hurricane season.
You think
Uh,
Miami put like some tar on their heels and they got stuck?
anyways, if you just look at the stats, like they have 5 total touchdowns between both of them. That's more than the quarterback threw for. That's crazy.
He
5
had a
total
rushing
touchdowns.
touchdown himself.
Yeah, that's like this 5 touchdowns for your backs. Like imagine you don't even have to really rely on your quarterback, even though he threw for 223 yards on just 19 or 14 completions. Uh, that's amazing in itself. But your backfield is what powered the game and ran over Miami's defense. So all the credits to North Carolina. They had a great year. But we look at Miami. Their quarterback King threw 18 for 30, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Didn't really have that much of a bad game, but it was 12 incompletions. So yeah. And to the college football game of the week, we had the uh,
Okay.
Army versus the Navy. I guess the Navy was still stuck on the ship because they didn't come to play. Uh, it was one of the best games that we always see, or a rivalry game that we see every year. Army plays Navy, either in Philadelphia or in Maryland, and they beat them 15-0. And so just all defense for the Army. It have them complete shutout. Uh, I know Dylan was watching this game. What did you think about this game, Dylan?
This is the one game that gets like they get away with it being such a low scoring game. Like it's entertaining to watch these two battle it out on the field because I'm not watching any other college football game or professional football game and the score is 15 and the other team has a goose egg. Like I'm not watching a shutout like that. So I was actually entertained the whole time. It was just great to see like them play in the weather where it's like foggy. There's no type of visibility at all. And this was actually like my first time actually paying attention to this game because like Tyler, Army's quarterback, I think they've had a few injuries throughout the year. So he's had to fill in as the starting QB. And he only had one attempt, one completion the whole game. The whole time he was just a running back himself. So either they do RPO where he pitches it off to the running back or he holds it himself. And he did that the entire game and he had 26 rushes, 96 yards and a rushing TD. And that was like towards the end where they finally like separated themselves and you could tell it was like a done deal. Like they had it in the bag. And that's their 4th win in the last 5 years because last year they actually lost to Navy. So I think they had a chip on their shoulders and they were like, we can't lose 2 years in a row because then there's going to be a lot of pressure on us. Like the program's probably going to get, flipped upside down probably because this is a huge game. You don't want to lose to a rival like this 2 years in a row. And then with Navy, really no stat line. I think their QBR line, he actually had some pretty good stats. But the intern put thank you for your service, I guess. There's still something positive to say about them. So that's great. Thank you, intern, for putting that. But yeah, it was a great game to watch, even with it being so low scoring. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What's the deal? It's been a while. I think episode 15 was the last time where I talked about Soldier Boy being the Messiah, like the second coming. He just saved hip hop and the music industry as a whole. So I think that was the last time we had this segment. So it's been a while. So just to get you guys caught up, you new posters who haven't seen this, if you hadn't gone back and watched episode 15 or the one where I talked about Dirk being better than AD, then this let me just give you a little bit of background of why we have this segment. This is just me pretty much venting about stuff that I think is just totally inappropriate, where people say certain things, make certain comments, and I want to address it here live. I'm authentic, genuine. I'm not holding back. And this week, I'm not holding back on you, Albert. I'm on your head, boy, because all this time you've been talking about the Buckeyes not being a team that deserves to be. I'm already losing my voice. I sound like Doc Rivers. You said they don't deserve to be one of those Final Four teams in the college football playoffs. Well, guess what? They do deserve it. And Dabo Sweeney, you put your finger down, sir, because you jabroni, your team doesn't deserve to be one of the Final Four teams. And this is why. Ohio State, Albert, you say that their schedule is weak, that they don't deserve to be in it. And they also have only played 5 games. None of that matters. This is a year where there's so much stuff going on that they have no control. And if we want to talk about COVID affecting a team, let's talk about how Clemson lost to Notre Dame because they didn't have their starting quarterback. Do they deserve to not be in the college football playoffs?
Or Clemson has a better record.
They don't have a better record because they have 1 loss.
Yeah, but they play more games.
But does that matter? 0 losses compared to 1 loss.
Yeah, but it's not like we're playing the same. We're playing the same amount of games. It's different. So if they played an extra 4 games and they wouldn't have lost, then obviously they would have a better record. But you can't say 5-0 is better than 9-1.
So you can't determine if a team is good or not based off of 5 games where they've pretty much beaten every team by a large deficit or by a large margin, not deficit. Only game that it was pretty close was the game against the Hoosiers. So that 5 games is not enough for you. You need 10 with 1 loss.
we can look at the prime example, and the opposite is the NFL. Look at the Steelers. They went 11-0, and the last 2 games they lost to the Eagles, and I forgot who they lost against the week before. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If you go 11-0, then you constantly lose to bad teams. You're not going to do that great in the playoffs. And do we even want to see you be great in the playoffs, or do you want to see you be in the playoffs at that point? Ohio State consistently plays bad schedules, weak schedules every year. That's why Texas A&M left the Big 12, because the Big 12 was weak.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Big 10.
He ain't even really the Big 10. It's the Ohio State 10.
State schedule.
All of this is Ohio State. That's the Big 10. That's why they changed the playoff rule. It's just Ohio State. It's not even the Big 10.
So you're telling me if we look at the rankings right now or throughout the year, that Big 10, they don't have teams that are already ranked in the top 25 themselves. When you look at teams that are in the top 25, you have Indiana, you have Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Who else they have? You have Iowa. Iowa's in there. Wisconsin would be in there, but they got hit the hardest with COVID. So you have all these teams from the Big Ten representing, and they're in the college football playoffs. When you think about teams like Clemson, who they have, Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's not really an ACC team. They're an independent team. They just play against ACC teams. Other than them, who do you have in there? North Carolina and Miami? Okay, yeah, you have them. When you look at the SEC, you have Alabama, You have Texas A&M, you have Florida, you have Georgia. Yeah, they're superior over others. But when you think about after the SEC, you can't say that the Big Ten is inferior to ACC. Like, what other ACC team has been dominant over the past few years than Clemson?
Yeah, but it's the ACC. We can't compare them to the ACC. That's like comparing the Big 12 to
So
the
why
Big
does
2.
Clemson deserve to be in with one loss? Because they only played
Huh?
10 games.
Because they played 10 games.
Why is
They've
Dabo
gone the
Sweeney
stretch.
talking about, I just think there has to be some type of standard? If I was on the committee, which you're not, you have a game that you need to prepare for, the rematch against Notre Dame. This is your chance to prove that you should probably be in the college football playoffs if you beat the Fighting Irish, because then maybe the committee goes back and they say, okay, maybe that loss was only because Trevor Lawrence wasn't in there, which is something else
That's
about your
interesting.
program that needs to be highlighted. Why do you only solely rely on one guy to help you win games? He said that it would be hard for me to leave out a 10-1 Texas A&M or an 11-game Florida team over a team that's played 6 games. Why is he talking so much? Is it because he probably knows that the committee favors Ohio State over Clemson? And maybe he thinks that he'll also lose against Notre Dame in the ACC championship and really be out of the playoffs?
Well, if I don't trust Dabo Swinney, I don't know why he talks half the time. But going back to your statement of if they shouldn't rely on the quarterback, let's be honest. If Justin Fields was not playing, Ohio State would not be 5-0.
I don't know that.
We know that.
Even though I do think he is definitely a legitimate Heisman candidate and should probably be a top 5, top 10 lock in this upcoming NFL draft. Their defense isn't all that great, but they have some great wideouts. They have some great tailbacks. So I think that whoever the backup QB is, will hold them down. Even in that game against Michigan State, when it was a blowout, the QB came in and had better statistics than Justin Fields, even though it was garbage time. He's no spring chicken himself.
But even Cincinnati is 8-0. Like, shouldn't they
And they
have an
deserve to be
opportunity?
in before Clemson.
And Ohio State, because they played more games.
No.
What?
So Coastal is 11-0. Why they ain't up there?
They should.
I
They
never
should
get the
before
college.
Clemson.
Exactly. I don't get the college football playoff rankings. I don't
Because they have
understand
the
it.
same POD that you have. They're in
It's
a weaker
always
conference, weaker schedule, and that's not true. Let those boys battle it out just like UCF wanted to against Alabama, where they were like, we're perfect, you're perfect. Let's battle this thing out and see who the true champion of this year is. But Alabama didn't
I'm
want the smoke
down.
that year.
I'm down for that. That's a great idea, but let's not get the focus off Ohio State is garbage. They play weak.
They are not garbage.
They have a consistently weak schedule. They played 5 games this year, and let's go to the playoffs. We only played 5
What makes
games.
their schedule weak? The fact that they are so dominant. That's what makes the perspective of their schedule so weak, if that
Dang.
makes any sense.
No, they just like Clemson. They're the Clemson of the Big Ten. If they didn't have Justin Fields, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. And their past proves it. They went undefeated last year and then lost in the playoffs. So do we really want to give them another chance of going undefeated during the
And,
regular season
and
just
they
for them to
lost to
lose in the
Clemson.
playoffs?
And they lost to Clemson because they were up by, I think, like 17 points, and Clemson came back and won. And I think Dabo Sweeney also fears that Ohio State is not the same Ohio State from last year, that if they get a huge lead, they're keeping that lead. They're not young anymore. They've grown and they learned from previous year's mistakes. This team is different. They're a different breed, Albert. You better give them some respect. Respect. We done or we finished? No, I'm not done, and I'm not finished. I'm still on your head, Albert. If anything, Texas A&M should be in before Clemson because they lost to the number 1 ranked team, Alabama.
They do. Texas A&M should be right there on that bubble, but Ohio State shouldn't be in there. Clemson should they should be fighting it out. It shouldn't be Ohio State because they only played 5 games.
Should
It should
USC be considered? They're 5-0 as well.
Oh,
No.
and
I think when they made this college football bracket, it was a horrible idea because it doesn't solve anything. It's worse than what we were already off with because there's too many undefeated teams that go and teams they feel like they deserve it, and there's no actual bracket for it. It's just like, oh, okay, the SEC, we want to see SEC, we want to see Big Ten, we want to see it's the same teams. I'm tired of seeing it.
yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me.
So who are your 4? Who's your top 4? If the season was over today, all the bowl games have been played, or the conference championship games have been played, who deserves to be in the CFP the most?
I got Bama, obviously at 1. They're 10-0. I got Notre Dame. They're also 10-0. Now the 3 or 4 is the hard ones. I like Ohio State in there, even though they're 8-2. They had a really great year.
Who?
I say Ohio State.
I was like, bro, what are you talking?
I was like, wait a minute.
Iowa State. Iowa State.
Iowa State, you just said the Big 12 is a weak conference. That's why A&M left, because they weren't getting any respect for bowl games.
Yeah, but they beat Texas and Oklahoma this year.
We know Texas is not a good team, so why does that matter?
Because Texas didn't have a great year, but they're still a formidable team every year. It's not like they're playing like it's not like Ohio State teams who they're playing. They're actually Texas and Oklahoma is always going to put up a consistent fight every year, and just like that, Texas and what game was that when Texas played and they came down to the wire? It was like 45-42 at the end.
Oklahoma.
No. They lost the game. The game they came back and won, we all thought it was over.
Oh, Texas Tech.
Yeah. Texas Tech. It's like those games. Like, they're always going to put up a fight to the last minute. So I got Iowa State number 3. And number 4, I gotta put Clemson in there. That's my 4.
Kyron, who's your top 4? Do you have them?
Oh man, have Alabama, Notre Dame, 10-0. Why can an 11-0 team be in there? Being coasted.
Never said they can, but you gotta look at their schedule.
They 11-0.
No, but I think it matters who you play, not what your ranking is.
I don't make.
Obviously,
don't make
the
much
committee
sense to
thinks
me.
they're playing some type of tough competitors, that their ranking is that high, or they wouldn't even be in the top 15, 10, whatever they're in currently.
Yeah, I think that's garbage.
Who else? I'm gonna say Clemson.
It seems like no one wants to put Clemson in there.
Who's your
Why
4?
is that?
Clemson. I had Alabama, Notre Dame, Coastal, and Clemson.
Oh, okay.
Because they lost a game. It doesn't matter if your star quarterback is out. Yeah,
Not
now
really.
I'll give them their respect. They went to overtime. Uwagalele played a great game. He's a freshman, true freshman, I believe, and it was a lot closer than probably some thought with Trevor Lawrence not even playing a snap. You know, probably some people thought that the Fighting Irish would beat them because of their defense, but at some point we all thought Clemson was probably going to close that game out and win. But they lost a game. They don't deserve to be ahead of Ohio State. I don't care if they played 15 games and Ohio State only played 5. Their 5 games of them winning is better than Clemson playing 15 and winning 14 out of those 15.
How many games did Clemson win before they got that loss?
Ooh, that's a good question. Intern.
I have no idea.
Your point, Dylan. You just proved my point. They won without their star quarterback. You can never say that with any other team. Like, oh well, you can't say that wouldn't be an excuse. Well, they didn't play without their quarterback. So if the Cowboys went to Super Bowl and they were out without Dak, you would be like, well, they were out Dak. Yes, you can say that. You got to say that. That's an asterisk.
There's a big
Not an
difference
asterisk.
between DJ and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, there is.
Obviously, but like you for them to be in that game, that's a testament to Clemson.
But that's like Ohio State saying, well, it's not our fault that our games have been canceled. These external factors are forcing us to quit our games. That's like them using that excuse, well, we haven't been able to play a lot of games, so just put an asterisk next to those. We deserve to be in it. Because obviously it wouldn't fly with you. That's similar to Clemson. Well, we should be in it because our star quarterback, who's obviously going to be overall number one in next year's draft, wasn't playing. It doesn't matter. You played a game of football, next man up mentality.
Who's winning if Clemson plays Ohio State? Who's winning that game?
Let's see
Clemson.
it. No, you don't know that. That's disrespectful.
We know that.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We know that.
Do we want to see Ohio State lose again?
They're not going to lose again. We don't know that. We saw them lose last year, and they were up by multiple touchdowns, and they just couldn't close it out. But that Clemson team last year is not this Clemson team this year. And Ohio State, that team last year is not this team this year. They're a lot better. And Clemson is not what they were.
Let Ohio State play the other 5-0 team and let them duke it out for the 5-0.
That's fine. We can have a play in, but Clemson should as well. Because they don't deserve to be in there.
I don't know about that.
They can't say that they can be in there, and Ohio State can't.
That's funny. I'm going with
Clemson won.
Bama, Notre Dame.
They won 7 games before they lost.
Ooh.
That don't mean anything.
Ooh.
Means a lot.
Go ahead.
I got Bama, Notre Dame, Clemson, of course.
Don't put.
I'm putting A&M in there.
Let's go.
And who?
A&M.
A&M.
Then they're just gonna put Ohio State.
I have Bama at number 1.
And they're gonna lose.
I have Notre Dame at number 2 right now because obviously conference games haven't been played yet. I have Ohio State at number 3. And I'll give it to Clemson for now. I have them at number 4. But that game against Notre Dame, that's definitely going to make a lot of stuff change. And then also you have –
when is that game?
This upcoming weekend.
Let's go.
And Ohio State versus Northwestern.
I'm glad to see
that won't be an easy game, but I bet you what? Ohio State will win by 3
Northwestern taking the upset
or more touchdowns. Save your picks. We'll get to that. I'll leave y'all with this. A guy that's won 3 national championships. Now, he may be a little biased, but I agree with every word that he uttered. I think the job of the College Football Playoff Committee is to get the best 4 teams. There's no doubt they're one of the 4 best teams. The argument should stop there. And the argument will stop there. That's what's the deal. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know in the comment section who you agree with. Albert or me. Moving on. Albert, it's still pick 6. NFL time.
Let's go, baby. We might as well just skip past this first game. No, the Patriots and the Rams. Cam Newton's just having a bad year. This offense isn't working with the Patriots. As you can see, the Patriots have then clinched the AFC East title for the first time in 12 years since 2008, and that's a testament to the Tom Brady and Bill Belichick relationship. But now it's post Tom Brady, and the Patriots are going faster than cheese down the hill. Um, but Jared Goff had a great game, 16 for 25,
This man's so old.
137 yards and a touchdown. But he did have an interception. But Akers was the star of the game, 29 rushing attempts with 171 yards. It's the most by a Rams rookie since Jerome Bettis. And we remember how of a beast Jerome Bettis was, man.
The bus.
That man was
When he played, that's when you were a Steelers fan, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't got no proof for this. And then we have the Eagles in the Saints game. This is the other game I lost because I picked the Saints to win. Both teams without their quarterbacks, their starting quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts started the game. He had an actual really great game, 17 for 30, 167 yards, a touchdown, 18 rushes for 106 yards. So, I mean, that was amazing performance by him. The Eagles team rallied behind him. He was the leader. You also had Sanders for 14 rushing attempts for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns, with his longest 82 yards rushing touchdown. They pretty much ran over that Saints defense. The Saints kind of like caught up at the end, but it was too late. The Eagles defense locked them down. Like I said, Sanders is the first running back to reach 100 yards against New Orleans defense since 2017. It's been 3 years, and he had 100 yards this game. So, I mean, this is crazy. For the last game, for the pick six, this was the NFL game of the week.
I wouldn't go that far.
Would you say the year?
Of the year. This game was insane.
It was insane. The last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter is what really, it came down to. Lamar Jackson been struggling all year. He left the game with cramps, they say. He went out like the Paul Pierce.
Loose.
Yeah.
Forget that. He went to he got juiced in the locker room and came back on some BS.
He went out like Paul Pierce when he went out with the wheelchair. He came back on the 4th and 5 and delivered for his team. And even Baker came down. They had it was like 2 minutes, a minute left. The Ravens got it back with like a minute and 6 left. So they had like 2 to like 3 minutes on the clock, and that was a quick drive. We were talking about it in the group chat, and the Ravens defense was garbage. That was like the quickest drive ever. It was just a couple of plays, and even the touchdowns scoring play, the guy, the defender didn't even like tackle him completely. He just bounced off of him and let him go. As you can see the stats for the game, Lamar Jackson, he had 11 for 17 for 162 yards and a touchdown, but he also was a dual threat that night with 9 rushing attempts for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's where he really got that's where he really shined this game. And, the Browns, they played well themselves. Look at Baker Mayfield, 28 for 47 for 343 yards with 3 total touchdowns. But he did throw an interception. But, Justin Tucker hit the game-winning field goal with 2 seconds remaining. And let me tell you what, before I get to you guys' opinion, that last play scared me. Because Dylan said damn in the group chat, and I thought something happened. I was like, and I was behind too, and I just seen them just tossing the football. I was like, oh my gosh.
I know
my pants. Damn well.
And my underpants if they had scored on that play.
Bro, it looked like it for a second. I was like, oh my gosh. But how do you guys like the game?
It's a good game, man. I picked the Browns to win.
Oh, we know. I'm the one that picked the Ravens to win.
I don't know what Lamar Jackson was on when he went back to the locker room, but this man came out and I don't know. This man's a different person.
Mm-hmm. He let off about 5 pounds.
I see. This man, all that man, young twinkle toes in the streets.
On that Weight Watchers. I mean, the Jenny Craig.
This man was slinging that
more
thing,
like
man.
sitting on the throne.
He had like 5 completed passes in like the last minute or so, bro. It was wild.
Yeah, I think he had more passing yards in those last 2 minutes than he did in the whole game.
Stephen Curry.
Yes, sir. All right,
Or
man.
why KD? Hold on, before you start trying. Why KD beard look like that?
Because he cold, bro. He don't need to do nothing.
Crimson Chin.
Yep.
Here comes the Crimson. Let's go, baby. NBA season is back, bro. We're in preseason. We're coming off the shortest off season in NBA history. And guess what? I am so happy, so glad. NBA season, bro. It's lit. Let's go.
Facts.
We had a lot of games, a lot of games on the radar, a lot of games played, a lot of games to still be played. It's been interesting, been exciting so far.
Talk about one.
Which one?
What?
We only need to talk about one game.
Which one?
What game is that?
The Hornets versus the Raptors.
Get out of here.
Okay, before we get to the rookies, like Kyron said, like when I see the NBA on TV, it puts a smile on my face. Like there's something about watching NBA. It's just gives me the ultimate joy. And then when you see like superstars that you take for granted, like a KD, when you miss him for an entire season and he comes back after 500 plus days and you see him out there still a walking bucket, like you're like, wow, like
Yes,
I can't. You only get this for a certain amount of years, like this type of like true talent.
Exactly.
So it was great to see him on the court. My question is, before we move on, like, how'd y'all feel about Kyrie and KD on the court together?
Look good to me.
It's cold.
Ridiculous. Kyrie may talk crap off the court, but that boy was cooking.
That man's back,
Boy,
man.
stupid.
He was shaking me. I was getting lost. I was like, oh.
But the question is that sustainable? Because Kyrie, he like to get hurt.
It is. You're going to have either one. I mean, you're going to have KD. And nobody guarding KD.
He can't do it by himself.
That's facts.
Man.
We know Kyrie's gonna miss some time during the year, but
yeah, KD's always gonna get points. He's always gonna get like 25, 28.
But their team's still gonna be anyway if Kyrie goes out the game.
Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie, like,
so. Yeah,
this man can drop 25 himself. Not like
Karis
KD,
LeVert.
not as easily, but he's.
But
he's
if they're playing a true contender like the Lakers or the
Warriors.
Clippers, then it's gonna be even harder with Kyrie out.
Whoa, you may not have heard the news because you still have a Jet magazine subscription. But Klay Thompson is out for the year, so they are not true contenders.
You said
it's
the
not
Warriors?
okay.
We got Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, he said the Warriors. You believe this, man?
Kelly Oubre.
Bro, the
Kelly
Nets
Oubre is not your
Junior.
savior.
will beat the Warriors.
Oh,
Thank
my
you.
God.
They would beat him on opening night when they play each other.
He's not Klay Thompson, but he's about 50%. It's all right. Because Chef Curry is back.
Whoa.
Chef
Do y'all hear this,
Curry.
man? Do y'all hear
Chef
this?
Curry.
Did you say that
50%.
Kelly Oubre is 50% of Klay Thompson?
Yes, 50%.
Of his body weight, that's it.
Oh my gosh, you are stupid.
Don't count the Warriors out. I guarantee.
That they're gonna lose to Brooklyn on opening night.
Yes.
Facts.
But we're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
We're
you might.
contenders.
Not in the
We're
West.
contenders. We're contenders.
In the
We're
West,
contenders?
We're
it's,
contenders.
the
We're
West is
contenders.
what?
That boy, it sounds like you saying chicken tenders. What are you saying?
Exactly. Well, hold on.
We're
Okay.
contenders.
Oh,
Before
you
we
are
go-
contenders. What you're saying?
Yes,
is not the We
are
Believe team.
contenders.
Before
You
we
shouldn't
go
believe
forward,
because you're not contenders.
Jeff, how does the How do the Warriors finish? What number? What ranking?
What ranking?
Yeah.
Probably 5th seed.
Nah. Over who?
5th seed in the Pacific Division. You had the Lakers,
For real.
Clippers, Suns,
Over who?
This man is true.
The West ain't playing
Kings.
this year.
Hey, but y'all
Man,
forgetting about
let's
Chef
see.
Curry, man.
No, we're not.
We
We're
have-
just like
Klay
Unanimous
Thompson.
MVP. He's back.
Just like Kyron said, somebody said, one of y'all said, KD can't do it all on his own. Steph can't do it all on his own. We saw it last year. That's why he was like, I'm going to take the year off.
Bro, we got James Wiseman. We got.
You haven't even seen the man play a game yet.
It's okay. He ready.
But he's not
He's ready.
making up for Klay Thompson.
No, he's not.
Bro, it's all gonna fall into place.
Okay, all right, sure.
And number 5, bro, we got Utah, we got Denver, we have the Clippers, we have the Lakers, we have Houston, Dallas. Ain't no way.
You getting disrespectful now. You're not gonna mention the Rockets without you gonna mention Rockets, but you're not gonna mention Portland.
Whoa, you
Did I mention? I don't think I mentioned Houston.
Man.
Yeah, you did. You said Houston.
No,
You said
I don't
Houston.
think he did.
I said Utah, Denver, Portland, Clippers,
And
and Lakers. I didn't say Houston.
You said Houston. You said the
You
Rockets.
said Houston.
And number 5, bro, we got Utah, we got Denver, we have the Clippers, we have the Lakers, we have Houston,
Portland.
Dallas. Bro, y'all are smoking. I said that.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna
he did not
repeat.
say that.
I did not say Houston.
Albert, you hear things.
Exactly.
No.
Houston,
Rockets
we
just gonna
have
lose in the first round.
Houston. We have a problem.
Rockets not even
You heard
going
me
to the
say
playoffs,
that.
especially if James Harden not on the team. But
He's back.
that's another thing. How'd y'all feel about John Wall and Boogie? They actually played well for them to not play like 3 years.
John Wall
They
going
look
crazy.
good together. John Wall
It's
was
just the
dishing
first
that
game.
thing.
Yeah, I want to see if they can stay healthy.
If I'm the Rockets, I'm saying goodbye, James Harden. I'm gonna get something in return, and I'm all right with being a lottery team and letting these guys play. They're still entertaining.
Yeah, if they can stay healthy, then that'll be good for the Rockets. John Wall and Boogie, they play well.
Now, here are the rookies.
How you
Let's
got
this year.
go.
Good.
Who had the best performance so far? Like, who are you most impressed with? You have Anthony Edwards, who's number 1 overall pick. LaMelo Ball, number 3. Isaac Okoro. I know, Albert, you mentioned him after he hit that game winner on Indiana Pacers. Obi Toppin, New York Knicks, and LiAngelo Ball. Like, who had the best out of those 5? Who had the best performance on court?
Definitely Okoro. I take Okoro.
Facts.
What was Opie's stat line?
Y'all not gonna say anything about LiAngelo Ball? What'd he do on the court?
If he got to see the court, he probably would have done some.
He said goodbye to it one last time.
Man.
How they extend it from 13 to 15 and you still don't get picked up?
Bro,
Because there was 14 people better than this man.
Don't
They picked up
disrespect
a
this
ref.
man.
Bro,
You disrespecting LiAngelo Ball.
how, bro? Just like high school, if you don't produce in practice, you're not
That's
going
true.
to get PT.
That's true.
They probably didn't give him the opportunity to produce at practice.
They
He probably did. He
How,
probably
it's
got
practice.
cooked. Thank you.
They probably seen his brother play. It's like, oh no.
Bro,
What do you mean? Bro, Melo was headlining. Lonzo was knocking down threes.
because he's overhyped. This man didn't have any points, and they were like, he has. This man.
So just because he
this
doesn't
when you
score,
know. This when you know a player will not live up to the hype. He has vision that I've never seen before. You got to talk about his other attributes.
bro.
For some
just
reason,
'cause
he can't see that basket.
This man played 16 minutes. He shot only 5 times, 3 3-pointers.
And how many
So
did
just because
he
he
make?
didn't score, he didn't make anything. He had 0 points. So his first game, he only has 5 attempts in 16 minutes. And you guys are saying, "Oh, he's a bust. He's a bust." Man, y'all are tripping.
Not a
No,
bust,
me.
He was a bust.
but he wasn't the most impressive. You're talking about. We got to talk about one game. Like he just made the lights go out in the arena.
Nah, he didn't. But
turn heads.
To play 16 minutes and he was aggressive. He played. He had 10 boards. You know what I'm saying? Has
That's
some
another.
crazy assists.
That's another thing we need to talk about how aggressive he was. I heard during the game, one of the guys was like, "Same team," because he was boxing out his own teammate, trying to stuff the stats, like where what they always criticize Russell Westbrook for. Like he was like overcompensating for the fact that he had 0 points, so let me get 10 rebounds, so at least that looks a little bit better, and let me,
Nah,
you
man.
know, push the ball down the
Bro,
court,
bro,
get a fast break, so then I can dish it to
how
somebody
many
wide
times
open.
have you played a pickup basketball game and you going up for a rebound the same time as your teammate? You're like, oh, same team. It happens, bro. It's
It doesn't,
basketball.
because no one even tries to get rebounds in a pickup game. Everybody just at the 3-point line. Who gonna grab it?
Well, I'll be down there getting the rebounds. I'll be snagging them
I'll be
things,
there.
pushing it up the court.
Oh, my God.
I guess he just forgot the games we played. I don't know.
Oh,
You
man.
must save your energy
Oh,
for
see, when
other
y'all around,
teammates.
y'all get the boards.
Anyway, Obi Toppin had 11 points in that first game, and then the second one he had 4. One of 9.
I'm looking forward to him. I think he's gonna have a great season.
I liked him and RJ Barrett together. I think that those are
Where's
a great pair.
is Knox still playing?
Yeah, but 2 points in that second game, and first game he had 5
Man,
points.
fell
He's
off the face
just
of the earth.
Yeah.
he's not
Dang.
versatile enough. He has a lot of weaknesses that have been exposed, and he hasn't improved on them.
Dang. Can Obi shoot threes? He shot some threes.
Yeah, in
I don't think
college.
I
that.
think he can, but
Yeah, I don't
he's
think
not that
that's like.
strong.
Yeah, you not something that you rely on him to do. Another thing about the NBA, that long layoff for teams like the Knicks, for the Cavs, Wolves, that we haven't seen, the Hawks, those teams that we haven't seen in 9 months. I was seeing a lot of players like their 3-point shooting has gotten better. I think the pandemic, no distractions that summer, where you can go out to like Cancun and go out to like bars and clubs and stuff where you have other stuff to do. These guys are in the gym, because I was watching a lot of games during the weekend and yesterday, and they were lighting it up just from the 3-point line. So that's a great sign for this upcoming year. I think it's going to be really competitive.
I think Isaac
NBA
Okoro
is back.
Don't say the Lakers defending champions just yet.
No, they are. Isaac Okoro definitely had the, I think, strongest start out of all these 5 on the screen. He's promising for the Cavs. Jeff over here talking about a guy that's 6'8", getting 10 rebounds. Okay, it's like a point guard getting 10 assists. That's expected. Like, bro, like what else are you gonna do? This man, Isaac Okoro has been consistent over the last couple of games. Like, come on now.
He had 12 points. LaMelo Ball did in that second game, but he was 3 for 10. 2 of 6 from the 3-point lines, 40%. It's not too bad.
Yeah, bro. Once he gets his feet wet, bro,
I think it's
he's gonna go
40%.
crazy.
That's a wrap for episode 27. Thank you, Jeff. Before my brothers and I let you go, guys, how many things do we need them to do?
3.
Only 3.
Only 3.
Trust.
Just that simple.
Number 1, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pod Ties.
Please.
Number 2, smash the like button. Give us a thumbs up. Number 3, that notification bell. Albert knows what to do, so follow what he does. Destroy it.
Like,
I forgot what came out to destroy. Lastly, you can listen to us on multiple DSPs, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, and much more. So go check us out. Subscribe on there as well. Download those episodes. And once again, we appreciate the support. We'll see you again in a couple days. Stay safe. The holidays are coming up. Hope you guys are feeling festive. As always, we are Pod Ties. I'm Dylan. That's Jeff. That's Albert. And that's the one and only Kyron. Peace, Podsters.
We out.
I'm at the Hyatt. And I ain't talking about Jeff.
There you go.